Sine curve starts at the midline, which for us has always been 0. Changes today. Midline's not 0 today anymore, and you'll see. After that, sine starts at the midline, goes to the max, which depending on what the number is out in front, it'll change. For now, it's 1. Goes back to the midline. Then travels down to the minimum. Could change depending on the number out in front. And then sine ends at the midline, which for us has always been 0, but that will change in a second. And there's my curve. All good? All right. And let's talk cosine. 1, 2, 3. All right, cosine, little different beast, right? Starts at the max. Depends what the number is out in front. Then it goes to the midline. Minimum, midline, max. Gotta know where all these two curves go. Gotta know. It's huge. If not, I might as well just be teaching in German. It's going to be the same thing. You're going to have no idea what's going on. All right, any questions about basic sine or cosine? Before I get to the new stuff, I throw a number out in front. Let's say I throw a 5 out in front. How does that affect the graph? Now it goes up to 5 and down to -5. Up to 5 and down to -5. If I put a negative out in front, how does that, anybody remember how that affects the graph if I put a negative?
You start at the minimum.
Anywhere I have a max, it goes to a minimum. Anywhere I have a minimum, it goes to a maximum. Okay, that's what the negative effect. So right now, everyone in this class should be able to graph something like that because I'm going to change it today. Hopefully you're comfortable graphing something like -5 sine x. Any questions about those at all before I start the new stuff? Okay, so here we go. And as a reminder here, this 5th period class, Algebra 2B, we have our cameras on 100% if you're going to go to all these Google Meets. All right, we always have our cameras on, so get with it, please. All right, we've always had the number out in front. In that case, the 5. That value is called the A value. I have always put an A value out in front as of last week. All right, I put an A value out in front. Today, guys, I'm going to put a number at the end, which is going to be called a C value at the end. Okay, I'm going to have a number out at the end, which is going to be called our C value. What does that number do to our graph? I'm sure you guys could already predict. Look at this exercise 1. I got the sine curve, but now it says +3. +3. Any predictions what's going to happen to our usual sine curve if I do +3 at the end now? And you'll probably be right. So what's going to happen to our good old sine curve if I add 3 at the end?
The translation.
Well, of what, though? Where's it going to go, Caroline?
Of 3.
There you go. This whole graph is going to shift up 3. Up 3. Okay? That's what the +3 means at the end. Up 3. If it was -3, absolutely, we're going down 3. All right? Plus, I go up. Minus, I go down. All right. Before we graph it, I don't want to graph it yet. I want to see if we can answer these questions. What's going to be the new max and min then? What's going to be the new max and min if I bring every point up 3 units? Up 3. All right, here's where you guys are going to take over for me. Every point's going to go up 3 now. So what's my new max and my new min? Okay, here we go, Bassett. You got this. Bassett, before I shifted it up 3, sine has a max and a min of what?
1.
And that's a max. What would be the min?
-1.
Okay, everyone agrees. This is good old sine. -1 to 1. But I shifted everything up 3, Bassett. So -1 went up 3. What's its new minimum now? Yeah. And the max of 1 also went up 3 units. So what's its new max, Bassett? 4. There you go. Good job. Everybody see now. My new minimum equals 2, and my new max equals 4. Does everyone see how I arrived at that point? I took the old ones, -1 and 1, and literally went up 3 spots and got to 2 and 4. So what's our range now? Well, we just did it. Make sure we have brackets when you tell me what the range is. 2, 4. 2, 4. All good? And here's the big new piece today. Your midline is not going to be 0 anymore. Because remember, everything went up 3 units. So the midline's not going to be 0 anymore. The midline is going to be how much we shifted. Y equals 3 is your new midline. All right, so anytime we say midline, we're talking about 3 now, not 0. All right. Time to graph it. What's this one look like? And we'll only graph it on the positive side. So 0 to 2 pi, we'll only graph it. All right, going to need somebody decent here, absolutely, to help me graph this. Here we go, Dan, here we go. Where does sine usually start, Dan?
Sine usually starts at 0.
Oh, at the mid, don't say 0, at the midline, right?
Yeah.
So our midline here is what we shifted, which is what?
Midline is 2, 4.
No. That's the whole max and the min. Our midline is usually 0, you're correct. But this graph is shifted up how many units?
Shifted up 3 units.
3 units. So that's where our new midline is, guys, right here, 3. Everyone see that? I told you the midline was going to change. Usually it's 0, but I shifted this up 3. So my midline now is 3. All right, keep talking to me, Dan. Usually starts at the midline, then where does sine go to?
Then sine goes to the max.
Which now we know is?
Now we know it's 4.
4. Everyone see? 4. That's why it's great to know what the max and the min is before we start. All right, Dan. Midline, max, now where?
Back to the midline.
Back to the midline, which now is 3 in this case. Then where?
To the minimum.
Minimum we found was 2. And where's sine end, Dan?
It ends at the midline.
There we go. Back to the midline. And this is exactly what we talked about. Here's your sine curve, right? Except I just jacked it up 3 units. That's all it is. Just jacked it up 3 units. Any questions there? Before I really turn it up. How we got 2 and 4, how we got a new midline of 3. Why does the graph look like it does? Questions? You ready for the next one? Donovan, if you're going to be part of this class, that camera's on. If you're going to be part of all these mad Google Meets you attend. Or get out. All right, here we go. Next one. 3 sine x minus 3. And we're only going to, can you just do me a favor here? We're only going to graph from 0 to 2 pi. All right, 0 to 2 pi. I won't go in the negative direction. All right, 0 to 2 pi. I am always going to tell you to do this before you graph. Find the max and min first. Find the max and min before you graph. It just makes graphing so much easier if you guys already know what the max and min are and don't have to find it as you graph. Okay, so here we go. Someone's going to help me find the max and the min now. Will, here you go, boss. I'm just going to ask you a couple questions to get to the new max and min. All right, before I did, you see how you got minus 3 on there, Will, on the equation?
Yeah.
Okay, that means I went down 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Forget that. Before I did the shift, Will, this is something we did last week. Before I did the shift, you have 3 sine x. So could you tell me before I did this shift what my max, my old min and max were with just 3 sine x? If you have just 3 sine x, what did it go up and down to?
3.
Yeah, well, it went up to 3 and down to what?
-3.
Okay, so everybody, that's my old one. Now Will's going to shift all those points down 3. So we're going to take -3, Will, and go down 3. Where are you now?
-6.
Perfect. And you're going to take 3 and go down 3. And where do you end up?
0.
Okay, everyone see our new max and min and how Will and I got there. We took the old one, -3 and 3, and we moved them down 3. So we can at least answer this part right here. A max is 0 and a minimum of -6. Here's another reason why I'd like you guys to find the max and the min before graphing. Can you guys take a look at your y-axis for me? You're not going to be able to put -6 on there if you go by ones. Okay? And it's good to notice that now and not as you start graphing. Does everyone see what I mean? You cannot go by ones and hit -6 on the y-axis. So let's go by 2s then. So -2, -4, -6, -8. All right, so just another advantage to finding the max and the min before you start graphing. All right, who's up? Who's going to do this one with me? Here we go. Kian, ready? Tell me something about sine. Where does it start? I swear I saw him pop on here. He was here earlier. All right, never mind. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. Hunter, tell me something about where sine starts.
It would start at 0 or -3.
Usually, yeah. Hey, usually it starts at 0. That's the midline. But again, what did our shift tell us? Going down 3. So everyone take a look right here. Where's sine go from there, Hunter?
Down 3.
Well, it starts at the midline. Now I'm asking, where's the next point? Midline to where?
Oh, to 0.
To max, right? Midline to max, which is 0 in our problem here. Back to where?
Back down to midline.
Midline to -3. Then where?
Minimum.
Minimum of -6. And where does it end?
Back at the midline.
There we go. Everyone all right? Got to know where it starts and goes. Good, Hunter. There it is. And I'll answer the questions here in a second. Just want to make sure we're all good there. Midline is always the shift. Always where you shifted. All right, let's answer some of these questions because we got some new vocabulary here. Amplitude. Amplitude. That's my A value, everybody. All right, that's my A value. That's the height. The height. And you can get that right from the equation. Amplitude is the height of the curve, which you can get from the equation. That's that first number out in front, your A value, which is 3 for us. Shift, vertical shift. That's your C value. That's how many units you shifted up or down. I am going to ask one request when you do this. Please do not put +3, or in this case, -3. Give me the word up or down, please. All right, give me the word up or down, because you put -3. I really don't know if you know that's up or down. All right, so in this case, give me a down 3 here. Down 3. Put the word up or down with it. Midline. Midline equation, that's your shift, right? The midline was at y equals -3. That's our midline. Y equals -3. And again, you can look at the equation. It's just the shift. And then finally, the period. That's still not going to change until Wednesday's class. Again, period. Don't write this on your graph, but how long it takes on the x-axis to make one full curve, how long it takes. For us, it's always going to take 2 pi on the x-axis. That will change Wednesday, though, but 2 pi for now. Please, guys, ask anything, because I'm probably going to go to the most difficult type of equation next. Anything where any numbers came from. All right, you ready? Here we go. -1/2 cosine x plus 3. Whew. I got a negative, I got a 1/2 out in front, and I got a 3 at the end. I got everything I could possibly throw at you right now. All right, everything I could possibly throw at you. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is graph. All right, guys, the last thing I'm going to do is graph. I'm going to first pick somebody to help me through all of these values just by knowing the equation. All right, just by knowing the equation. Liz, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Liz. Amplitude. And I'm hoping you make a mistake here for a reason. If you don't, that's fine. Kudos to you. Amplitude, that's the A value out in front, which is what?
-1/2.
Okay, thank you for making the mistake. All right, amplitude is height, everyone. We cannot have it. Can you be a -2 feet? Nah, you can't be a -2 feet. Amplitude is always positive. So all we're going to do, Liz, is take the negative out, and it's 1/2. Amplitude, everyone, is always positive. Because remember, the only thing the negative's doing is flipping the curve. All right, so thanks for making that mistake, Liz. We will not forget that again. Amplitude is always positive. All right, Liz, vertical shift. Where are we moving this? Up, down, and how many units?
Up 3.
Up 3, got it. Everyone, please put the word up there. Don't give me +3. All right, Liz, where's our new midline going to be, which is also the shift? What was the shift, Liz?
Up 3.
Up 3. So we're not going to write up 3. We're going to write y equals 3. That's my new midline, that line. All right, Liz, here we go. Max and min, we're going to put you to work here. Before we shifted it, Liz, up 3. So I'm going to cover up the +3 part. Before I shifted it up 3, what was the min and max of this graph before I did the shift?
-1/2 and 0.
And remember, go
1/2.
positive 1/2. Good catch. All right, that was my pre-shift min and max. All right, Liz, now take both of those and
Add 3.
there you go. Didn't even have to tell you. Perfect. Move up 3. So what's your new minimum now?
2.5 and 3.5.
There you go. Good job, Liz. You're good. Thank you very much. Great job. All right, so my new minimum, 2.5. My new max, 3.5. Please ask. Those are important numbers there. Anybody questions on where we got them from? I always take the min and max before we shift and then add the shift to it. All right, period. It's still going to be 2 pi. I just wanted to introduce this and get it in your head. It's not that important right now, but it will be Wednesday. Key values. Basically, what's the distance on the x-axis that we're going to plot a point? For now, it's going to be every pi over 2 we plot a point. Okay, every time we go pi over 2, we're plotting a point. And then the range, Liz just did it for us. Low to high, 2.5 to 3.5. And just remember those darn brackets, right? Now the time. I'm going to need a stud here to graph. A stud to graph with me here. Eliana, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, you are. I can hear the confidence in your voice. All right. This is a cosine curve now, so get the cosine curve in your mind, Eliana. Where does cosine usually start? Don't give me, just give me the term. Don't give me a number. Just give me a term. Where does cosine always start? At its what? Maximum. Good. All right. Which was what for us?
3.5.
Okay. But, everyone, I threw that negative out in front. So, Eliana, we are not going to start this at the max because of the negative. We're going to start at where? There you go, everyone. We're starting this curve at 2.5. I don't know why I graphed negative 2.5 because I had one job. There we go. So everyone all right? Why we're graphing the min and not the max? The negative told us to do it. All right, Eliana, okay, I get it. It starts at the max, then where does it go to? Midline, which for us was what? Well, for the plain old cosine curve, it's 0, yes. But now that I have a shift, it's going to be where the shift is. So instead of 0, it's going to be, how many units did we shift this?
Oh, 3.
Up 3. So I'm going to plot next point at pi over 2 is going to be 3. All right, keep talking to me, Eliana. After the midline, where are we going? So I got usually max, midline, then where?
Then you go up again.
All right, so here, going back to what I start. You go max, midline, then where?
The minimum.
Minimum, but the negative tells us I don't want to do the minimum. I want to do what instead?
The max.
The max, yep. Go back here. So I'm going to go max was 3.5. So everyone go up to 3.5. Oh, what is that? Okay, 3.5. Got it. All right, keep talking. Let me go back to the other one here. So I just did the minimum. Where are we going back to now?
The minimum, which is 3.
Yeah, here we go. We're picking this up now. 3, and then where's cosine usually finish?
The minimum again.
Well, it's usually at the max, but yeah, you went a couple steps ahead and flipped it on me. It's going to end at the minimum on this graph. Yep. And there it is. There's the graph, guys. That is everything at this point in the unit anyway. That's everything I can throw at you. A negative, an A value, and a C value. That's the most I can throw at you right now. How do you feel? We feel all right. That's the most I can throw at you. Please ask, because that's the last graph we're going to do today. The next one you do will be on your own tomorrow during practice time. All right, a couple more quickies and then we're out. Okay, here's a graph. I'm giving you this graph, and I don't want you to get freaked out by a vocabulary term here. Sinusoidal. You can just say that a couple times because you're on mute. Sinusoidal curve. All that means, it's not a sine curve. All that means is it's a curve that repeats itself. All right, a sinusoidal curve. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I could be acting like a total crazy person and saying that wrong, but I like sinusoidal. It's just some curve that keeps repeating itself. All right, some curve that keeps repeating. In this case, we are told that it's some form of a sine curve, right? It's some form of a sine curve. You guys are on the hook for the A and the C value now. All right, the A and the C value. Easiest way for me to show you guys this is just to give you the formulas. All right, to find the A value, the number out in front, you take the max and the min, subtract them. It's max minus min divided by 2. That's how that A value out in front is always found. Max minus min divided by 2. All right, could somebody do that for me? Help me. Ooh, here we go, Hunter. How high did this bad boy go up to?
22.
22. Notice Hunter's giving me the y values. I don't do the x for maxes and minimums. I do the y values. And it went down to a minimum of what, Hunter?
6.
6. So everyone, 22 minus 6 divided by 2. And that's it to find that a value. That's how you're going to find the height. And what's that end up? 8. So it's got a height of 8 units. And the C value, if you want to know how you shifted, ready? Max plus min divided by 2. Take a look. Easy to remember. You just got to make sure you remember where the minus and the plus went. All right, so now I'm going to add the 2 to get the shift. 22 plus 6 divided by 2. So I ended up shifting this curve, let's see, 14 units. All right, 14 units. Can I answer anything for you guys there? It's just remember the A formula and the C formula, the shift and the amplitude. All right, this will take these next two won't take us long and we're done. Going to end a little early today. What's the range? All right, what's the range for these two curves? And when it says in interval notation, that's our bracket notation that we're used to. All right, that's our bracket notation. All right, let's end this strong. Let's get a couple studs to end this. Caroline, here we go. Ready to go, Caroline? Okay, to do the range, Caroline, I need the min and the max. So the way I've been doing it today is before I shifted this 4 units, Caroline, before I did any shifting, can you tell me what my original max and min were?
-7 and 7.
You got it. It's that number out in front. -7 and 7. Now, Caroline, let's shift this bad boy up 4.
-3 and 11.
Okay. So this curve's going to go from -3 to +11. Not bad, Caroline. Not bad. For a rookie. Not bad at all. Everyone all right? Take your pre-shift, max and min, and then add the 4s to them. Good job. All right, one more. We're calling it a day. Mason, here we go, boss. This cosine curve. What was the original max and min here?
Is it 1, -1?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're on.
The original.
So I'm on negative. You're on -5 cosine x plus 2?
Oh, yeah, so the original was -5 to 5.
-5 to 5. And then we decided, hey, why not? Let's shift it up 2 units. So what's my new min and max here, Mason?
-3 and 7.
-3 to 7. All right. Questions from you guys? How to find those new mins and max? How to graph it all? A lot of graphing tomorrow on the practice. A lot of graphing. All right, I'm not going to talk any longer and waste your time. If there's no questions, I will see you guys tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you what the assignment is and how many points it is. All right? Good to see everyone. Bye, bye, bye. Hand wave, bye.